a facilitator. He's got 75 assists on the year. And oh, by the way, when these two teams met in January, Haase set a new career high with 23.
That was a three-point contest. We think this one's going to be close as well. Mercer controls the opening tap. Underway for our second semifinal. Pair of one-point upsets last night. Let's see what this thing looks like this evening. Alvarez off the bounce. And a quick trigger three by Ross Cummings. Just 2 points yesterday, a slow start with his first shot off the mark.
Pretty interesting, though, that Mercer would run the first play for Cummings, who had a tough night shooting yesterday. I'm going to say, Roy, that play was drawn up about 3:30 this morning.
Well, we know this. Greg Gary told us he didn't get a ton of sleep last night, so you're probably correct. Alvarez gets it back off the crossover. Shot clock now at 5. And a shot clock violation, and what on earth is Alvarez doing there? He should know better.
The VMI defense really confused Greg Gary's defense on that possession.
Had a couple of highlight reel moments. UNCG's win against ETSU, led by the player of the year in the SoCon for the second straight season, Isaiah Miller. Big man goes to work. Jake Stevens, too easy off glass.
He didn't necessarily catch the ball in the scoring position, Roy, but he certainly worked himself where he's very comfortable. And that's part of the evolution that we've talked about with Jack Stevens as an inside scorer.
2 minutes in, Bears looking for their first points. Haase on the offensive glass, and a fresh 20. Glisson, nice move. Stevens 4 of 6 last night from three-point range. The handoff to Kerfman. Open look for Miles Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis not really a three-point threat. He's only taken 5 on the year.
Gary off the mark from downtown. Still tied at 2.
You might think that's a bad look, but when you shoot 28 threes a game like VMI does, you're going to take some bad looks.
Yeah, they do things a little differently. Talked with Dan Earl about that, the SoCon Coach of the Year. He somehow saved that, 10 to shoot. Cummings, no. Both teams kind of filling each other out. Jake Stevens.
I think that's a great point you make, because both of these teams had players who logged a lot of minutes.
Alvarez top of the key. 5-2 Bears.
Yeah, when these two teams met in the first game, Alvarez did not score.
Transfer from Fairfield, was part of the All-MAC rookie squad in his freshman season. Lewis baseline with position. Nicely done on the reverse.
He does so many little things for this team. And I'm talking about VMI and Miles Lewis. What did Dan Earl say? He knows who he is. He knows his role on the team.
Big time difference maker in the comeback against Furman last night. Rebound to Haase. Bears lead it by a point, just underway. Second semifinal in Asheville. Alvarez. No. And Lewis, there was contact there. A blocking foul called against the Bears. That'll get us to our first timeout. Cold shooting start for both sides. Bears lead it by a point. Just underway in Asheville.
Magenta. I hate cartridges. Not magenta, not magenta. I'm not going back to the store. Magenta! Cartridges are so...
The Epson EcoTank. No more cartridges. It comes with an incredible amount of ink that can save you a lot of frustration. The Epson EcoTank.
Just fill and chill. Available at...
Real G's moving silence like sourdough, but we can't stay silent about this. The BK Sourdough King is in the 2 for $5 deal with flame grilled beef, sizzling bacon, and ooey gooey cheese on 2 toasted sourdough buns. Get the Sourdough King in the 2 for $5 deal. Your way, way better.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right. Rooftop dining in Asheville. The SoCon semis. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. Got the Coach of the Year in action tonight. Dan Earl, year number 6 in Lexington. And tell you what, there have been some great coaches in this league, Mark.
Yeah, the SoCon is rich in its coaching history, and you're taking a look at just a few who have won Coach of the Year multiple times, starting with Everett Case, who won the very first year that Coach of the Year was recognized. But check out the names on the list. Lefty Drizel, Bobby Crimmins, Mike Young. Well, you can add Dan Earl's name to that illustrious group.
To respect the job he's done, the Keydets. They're back to work. Bonham off the bounce, lost the handle. Look at the hustle on both sides. And the jump ball will stay on this end.
Both teams are almost circling in the ring. They haven't landed any blows yet, trying to feel each other out defensively. Neither one are what I would call up in your grill defenses. They're kind of soft man-to-man sort of defenses. So you've got to find and figure out a rhythm offensively.
UNCG qualifies, in my opinion, as up in your grill defense, right?
Absolutely. Skin to skin.
Robertson splashes that one home. 8-4.
That's just his 8th made 3 of the season.
8 of 21. That's respectable, though, right?
Yeah, I think he's due for a heat check now.
Sounds like our first half of our first game. Beautiful bounce pass, make it 8-6. Parham, his first bucket.
VMI plays a form, if you will, of the Princeton, which requires Stevens to be a passer at times. Great illustration. They'll play, both of these teams will play off their big guys.
Another look from the wing. Another shot that's missed. Jeff Gary off the mark. Conway an air ball. Stevens tried to save it and nearly did, and somehow it pops into Glisson's hands. Gary nearly turns it over. 10 to shoot. Shot clock been a factor on a lot of possessions early. That one's tapped out with 5 on the clock now.
VMI doing a good job of keeping Mercer from block to block. Watch this save first by Stevens. And then as the ball is just going to wander toward the corner, there's a great effort play there by Gary. And that's what saved the possession.
Bears have to hurry. Leon Ayers just checking in, side rim. And a turnover gives us a chance to remind you, for the 36th year, Champ Week continues. ESPN's networks, the West Coast Conference semis are back. Top-ranked Gonzaga, and the 4-seed St. Mary's. That's tomorrow night, 9 Eastern on ESPN. Followed by at midnight on ESPN2, BYU and Pepperdine in the 2 versus the 3. all headed your way tomorrow. Champ Week continues. Week out from Selection Sunday. One of our favorite times of the year, and very grateful to get the honor of calling this tournament the SoCon with its prestigious history, rich tradition. Foul called as Robertson tried to split the double team.
It's almost, Roy, like Mercer is determined we're going to get the ball in the paint some way. Either block the block with bigs or off the bounce. And right now, VMI's defense, they're just kind of all bunched in. Watch all 5 guys in white jerseys. Watch how deep they are into the paint defensively.
Listen, second bucket for him, 10-6 our score. Stevens wide open, in and out. The shots he were making last night against Furman. And a blocking foul, the call will put Leon Ayers at the stripe. That comeback last night, we mentioned it to Dan Earl, head coach of the VMI Keydets. Trail by 10, 3 minutes ago. Coach, what happened? He goes, honestly, I don't know. It's all such a blur. It really was a great conversation because you could sense his excitement, and they just kind of kept going and kept grinding. Gave themselves a chance at the end. Furman ran out of juice.
I thought it was really interesting when he said they got back to the hotel and his assistant coaches were going, hey, do you remember when this guy made this play? And do you remember when this guy made that shot? And he went, I don't remember any of it.
Twelve to 6. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott, second semifinal, the SoCon. Winner will get UNCG tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Here in Nashville. Parham was bumped. He'll shoot 2.
When you talk about Greg Parham, well, first of all, let me say this. When we talk about guys who make quantum leaps in their production, we usually talk about the guys from their freshman year to the sophomore year. Parham has saved his best for last, averaging just 9 points a game as a junior, and this season almost 19. He's made his quantum leap between his junior and senior year.
Well, the Keydets 7-7 in the SoCon. You look at that stat at the bottom, 5 straight 20-loss seasons prior to this year. Dan Earl just getting it done in Lexington, VA with this program.
Well, he's had a couple of guys that have stuck around, so he's got some experience. Parham a senior, Lewis a senior. That helps immensely.
And especially in a season like this. Keydets looking for their first appearance in the championship game since 1988. It's been a while. Alvarez, how about the spin and the finish?
Wow, how quick was that?
An air ball by Parham. And that'll send us to our under 12 media timeout. The spin cycle in full force here, Mark.
Alvarez gets into the paint, the quickness, the explosives, the finish. Mercer on top early.
Magenta. I hate cartridges. Not magenta, not magenta. I'm not going back to the store. Magenta! Cartridges are so...
The Epson Eco Tank. No more cartridges. It comes with an incredible amount of ink that can save you a lot of frustration. The Epson Eco Tank.
Just fill and chill. Available at...
For attractive offers on the ultra-responsive Acura TLX, visit your Acura dealer today.
In conference tournaments, history always takes center stage. But this year, history shares the stage with something greater. Justice. United, we ball.
Back in Asheville, winner of this game tonight gets the #1 seed UNC Greensboro Spartans. UNCG a 12-point winner against ETSU earlier tonight. Championship game tomorrow night, 7 Eastern on ESPN. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. Slow start for VMI, just 0 of 7. I was going to say just 3 of 12 from the floor, but 0 of 7 from deep. And Bears have the basketball 8 minutes in.
Let's remember that in league play, VMI makes 11 threes a game.
Hasse from downtown. And now the lead balloons to 10.
You just wonder, Roy, if all the minutes in that late game last night, VMI might be having a hard time finding an early second win.
Stevens gets the bounce. Much needed basket there. He has 4. That'll stop a 9-1 run for the Mercer Bears. Trying to get back to the dance for the first time in a long time. You go back to 2014, upset against Duke. Shot clock at 10 for Alvarez. He wants it. Hasse somehow saved it to Gary. Stevens the block. And now Bonham in transition. How about the athleticism there? The lead trimmed to 6.
All good guards play at different speeds. Bonham with the explosion to score in transition.
Off the cut, Alvarez sneaks it in. Stevens stripped, stolen by Ayers. Bears in transition.
It's almost like the team that has played twice already in this tournament has more energy in the early going.
Robertson off the mark from downtown. Kerfman can't connect. Well, VMI has 4 players that shoot over 40% from three-point range. They also have 4 players that played over 40 minutes last night in that overtime win against Furman.
Yeah, Parham and Kerfman played all 45. Jake Stevens with 43, and then Conway with 42. So that's a big ask to come back the next night after playing and logging that many minutes.
Dig 3 at the buzzer by Ayers, and that's a backbreaker for VMI.
Ayers has loved playing in this tournament. 17 the first night, 16 the second night, 58% from the field.
I haven't talked a lot yet about Mercer's win against Wofford yesterday. Bears led by 17 at halftime. Terriers come storming back. Bonham tries to answer, can't do it, and Hasse. Give it back to the Bears.
Leon Ayers, the junior, 37% from bonus land. Little step back. Most guys leave that shot short. He shot that with confidence.
I didn't think that Mercer was going to have the bounce back ability after trailing Wofford, after giving up the 17-point advantage. But that guy number 2 in black that had the ball for a minute, one of the big reasons why, had the N1 opportunity late and locked down Wofford defensively in the clutch. And Davis make that Lewis going to go to the strike.
Well, right now, the only thing VMI has going offensively is Miles Lewis, because at 0 for 9 from beyond the arc, if VMI doesn't start making some threes, they have no shot, because that's the way they are built. That is the framework with which Dan Earl has built this team.
Love to shoot the 3. Very efficient in that regard. Lewis 65% at the line this year, and he gets 1 of 2.
A little pressure by the Cadets.
Yeah, Alvarez last night, Mark, About as good of a sequence as you'll see with a team that's in survive and advance mode on both ends of the floor. Haase ripped that one away somehow. Alvarez on cue gets it back. And Mercer just getting anything that it wants at this early juncture. Ayers wanted the foul, didn't get the whistle. Here come the Keydets. Parham was begging for it. Stevens finally gets it to him. No look dish, corner three. That would have been big. Alvarez somehow saved it. Another shot from the corner. Boy, that sequence kind of a microcosm of this game so far.
I don't think VMI has missed 11 straight threes in any practice this year, much less a game. Fatigue certainly could play a factor there. The more well-conditioned teams in the SoCon. A good start tonight. Alvarez, little shake, little bake. And traffic off the mark. I'd like to see VMI be a little bit more patient, get a little ball reversal. Might be pressing a little bit now from beyond the arc. Parham. Makes it look easy, doesn't he, at times? Smooth operator. 21 points last night. Come back against Furman. Averaging almost 19 per this year. Still waiting on the under 8 media timeout. Haase with position. South Carolina transfer goes to work, in and out. An opportunity now for VMI. Well, this is what you want. String together a couple of stops. See if you can get something going to the rim. Lewis mid-range. Yes. 22-16. Again, set up by the dribble penetration of Parham. He is such a tough cover. Cummings still without a point in this one. He'll get it far side. Missed the layup. Boy, Cummings really struggling with the confidence to start this tournament. That's one you got to make. And Lewis was fouled. Ayers picks up his second. Keydat shooting free throws when we come back in a brand new ball game. VMI within 6.
Are the color cartridges in your printer ready for another school year?
What's cyan mean?
It means cyan, Mara, honor roll.
The ink!
I'm so host.
Yeah, you are. The Epson EcoTank printer. No more cartridges. It comes with an incredible amount of ink that can save you a lot of trips to the store. Get ready for the Dean's List.
Who's Dean?
The Epson EcoTank. Just fill and chill. Available at...
You can tell this is really crispy, juicy, and tender because we wouldn't take the time to butter all these potato buns if it wasn't worth it. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
A good start for the Mercer Bears, led by Neftali Alvarez, Mark.
Yeah, he had 13 and 6 assists last night. Tonight he's been more of a scorer, creative in how he can finish around the rim. But what I like about his game, he gets to the free throw line a lot. He's been there 100 times this season.
Mercer 17 and 10. Ross Cummings still without a point tonight, but he is the leading scorer. They do a great job dropping dimes down in Macon, Georgia.
I just wonder, Roy, is there something magical about being the 7 seed? Because last year Wofford entered the tournament having lost their last 7 games of the regular season. They ended up playing that extra game. They slipped all the way to the 7 seed and made it all the way to the conference championship game against ETSU. And here is Mercer as the 7 seed. trying to do the same.
Lead down to 4. Bears are trying to do that. They've missed their last 7 field goal attempts. Keydets back in it. 5 to go in the first.
Mercer will play a little different with Glisson on the floor instead of Haase. He's more a legit block-to-block presence.
Shot clock at 5. Cummings has it. He's going to have to take another one here. Puts it up and in. That's a big shot for his confidence.
I agree totally. That might get him going.
And that'll stop a 7-0 run for VMI. Lead back to 6. 4.5 to go. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. Winner gets UNCG tomorrow night in the championship. Deep 3. Kerfman connects.
He's one of those guys, 42% on the year. 67 made threes, make it 68 with deep range.
First three-pointer of the game for VMI, and the Keydets 1 for 12, but yet only trail by 3. Glisson attacking. In and out for Lewis.
How did that not go in?
Cummings.
Kind of had a feeling that was going to go in, didn't you?
Yeah, after the layup a few minutes ago, Parham short. Somehow saved and corralled by Robertson. Alvarez almost dribbled out of his shoes for a minute there. Alvarez thought about it. Robertson thinking too. Here he goes. Just kind of bullied his way in there, in and out with a runner.
My grandfather would say these two teams are doing a lot of churning but not getting any butter. Both these teams are running offense, but man, they're not scoring.
I can just picture that conversation back in Kentucky. Well, several years ago, shall we say. 1-point game, by the way.
VMI's got the fight now back in the middle of the ring.
Where will the Mercer offense come from? Stagnant, just 1 for their last 11. Shot clock under 10 again. And Alvarez will size up a triple. Big time bucket. Lead back to 4.
Yeah, defender went under the late screen. That allowed Alvarez to shoot that in rhythm.
Mark, we've had long stretches in this game between stoppages. Still waiting on the under 4 media timeout. And the Keydets will utilize a pause right here.
If you want to be effective big guy, play out the double team. Stevens does that. Kerfman knocks down the 3 ball. And on the other end, late in the clock, Alvarez does the same.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Then give families plans to mix and match so you only pay for what you need starting at $35.
You get so much more than this, a great network.
And offer the best in entertainment on select unlimited plans like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, as well as Discovery Plus, with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. There's no reason to settle for less than the best. Only from Verizon.
The Epson Eco Tank. No more buying cartridges. Look at all this ink it comes with. Big ink tanks. Lots of ink. No more cartridges. Incredible amount of ink. The Epson Eco Tank. Just fill and chill.
Champ Week continues, and the victory circle, the transitive property in college hoops, Mark Wise.
Quality of depth might be as good as ever in this league. How do I know? Because UNCG beat Furman, who beat Wofford, who beat Chattanooga, who beat ETSU, who beat VMI, who beat the Citadel, who beat Mercer, who beat Samford, who beat Western Carolina, and yes, Western Carolina beat UNCG. So when you can make that complete circle, you know you've got a conference that has quality depth.
I mean, really about 2 possessions are the difference between top of the league, bottom of the league. I think Dan Earl would tell you that, Coach of the Year in the SoCon, as would Greg Gary. 4-point game, Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. Keydet's back to work. Look at what Parham found, a wide open mid-range.
Yeah, the guy that averages almost 19 a game, you cannot leave him open.
New life for VMI. Hasse checking back in, 22 in black. He'll get it, and a wide open look. Buckets, 30-25. Hasse comes in firing.
He is just asked to do so many things, and they utilize him in so many ways. He puts your big guy defensively in a world of hurt.
What a big-time acquisition coming out of the SEC. Parham was fouled awkwardly, I might add, but he's going to get a couple of free throws out of that.
Roy, watch the way Hasse sets a screen, picks and pops there, re-screens, now gets the ball on the pop-out, and knocks down another 3-ball. What is it about Hasse and playing the Keydets?
It's the name. It's just fun to say, Felipe Hasse. It just rolls out beautifully each and every time. Don't forget, the WCC semis headed your way tomorrow night on the ESPN networks. On ESPN 9 Eastern, top-ranked Gonzaga, number 4 seed St. Mary's, then Pepperdine BYU at midnight over on ESPN 2. That's tomorrow night. West Coast Conference is back. SoCon is back as well, under a minute to go in our second semifinal. And a fun start in Asheville. Alvarez thinking about it again.
Should go 2 for 1 here.
Hasse, stretch 5 against stretch 5. How about the bounce pass? Robertson left open. Yes!
A guy who had made only 7 3-balls all season long has already knocked down a couple here.
7-point lead. We're back in 30 seconds in Asheville.
Magenta. I hate cartridges. Not magenta, not magenta. I'm not going back to the store. Magenta! Cartridges are so...
The Epson Eco Tank. No more cartridges. It comes with an incredible amount of ink that can save you a lot of frustration. The Epson Eco Tank.
Just fill and chill. Available at...
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender, and this is the crispy. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches.
Well, don't forget, coming up, the Audi Halftime Report. Highlights from a very busy day in college basketball. Joe Lenardi in the bracket bunker doing his thing. Updates galore, a week out from Selection Sunday. And we're just getting warmed up in the SoCon. So is Dan Earl and Greg Gary. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. And under a minute to go in our first half. Shot clock is off. What do you want to see here from VMI?
Well, again, I want body movement, but I'm going to leave the ball in Parham's hands. I'm going to let people move around him, let him be the decision maker. But, they tried to foul. They tried to utilize a foul.
Had one to give. Instead, desperation heave. And from three-quarters court, that one off the mark. Good start for the Bears, trying to get to their first ever SoCon championship game. They lead VMI by 7 at the break. And what a great job Greg Gary has done. Second season down in Macon, turning things around for the Mercer Bears. His club with a 7-point advantage. Otherwise, put on your coaching cap yet again and tell us, what was the difference in our first 20 minutes tonight?
You know, Roy, it's interesting. When these two teams played in January, Mercer actually won the three-point battle. And they're doing it again tonight. It's not complicated. Mercer has made 7 from beyond the arc, while VMI has only made 1. The consequence? That's a plus 18 in three-point differential. That is really difficult to overcome.
So in a sense, maybe VMI fortunate to only be trailing by 7 with a bunch of time obviously still left for head coach Dan Earl and company.
I think it's a great point that you make, because I'm sure that was being discussed in the locker room. Hey, guys, we're 1 for 12. We can't possibly shoot any worse, and we're only in a down 7 in a 3-possession game. We're okay.
Alvarez pushed from behind. He was a difference maker in the first half with 10 points, and he'll head straight to the line to start the second.
Another interesting fact from last night, Mercer only shot 3 free throws in the entire game. But, of course, the one that mattered in that comeback win, or the win against Wofford, I should say, was the one Alvarez made at the end of the game for the and one.
And Greg Gary reminding us, Neftali Alvarez should have the ultimate confidence in him, what he brings to the table. Quick trigger, Kerfman, short, and the rebound to Glisson.
And Roy, these are pretty good looks. I mean, that's a shot Kerfman can make with regularity.
In and out for Cummings. His struggles continue. You heard Coach Gary tell us right before halftime. Told his man, keep shooting. Inside, there's Parham.
Parham is just so fearless with his ability to get the ball to the rim.
Dan Earl told us earlier today, I was hard on Parham early in his career because I saw the potential. And now he says I'm going easy on him too often. There's a bounce pass out of bounds from Hasse.
Let's go back and take a look at Parham and watch him feel the defense. Once, twice, and just spin away from the defense to score.
Feel the defense, feel the flow. It sounds like a Happy Gilmore sequel. Lewis off the mark. There's the big guy, Jake Stevens, with a rebound, and he was fouled quickly. That was Glisson that got him. Gary was also a part of that. And it is Jeff Gary, his first.
Mercer substitution, 0, Leon Ayers.
Tale of two halves last night. VMI hopes that potentially continues this evening as Wofford had a great chance to spring a 17-point comeback. Stevens inside.
Well, that's one of the things that would help VMI. Points in the paint, some easy shots. Mercer has negated that part.
Yeah, there's something for a team that's struggling from the field, even layups, watching the ball go through the basket. It does something to your confidence, right?
Well, I come back to this. Coaches talk about we didn't play with a lot of energy, and they didn't make shots. If you want to play with more energy, make more shots. Have better offense. If you want to play better defense, have better offense.
Now on top of the soapbox, one Mark Wise. I love it. Kerfman, the answer of Hasse's three. Second triple for VMI.
The good news, if you're a VMI fan, is that you know your team, because they shoot so many threes, they can score points in bunches.
Alvarez, that's an air ball. And now an opportunity for the Keydets. They've trailed the entire game. Deficit now at just 5 points.
Roy, that shot was way short.
Yes. Looked like me warming up in Tuscaloosa last year.
I've seen that act.
It's not pretty. Parham. Well, that is pretty. He couldn't finish that time right at the rack. He's got 10 points to pace the Keydets. Ayers. And Glisson, a great position, was fouled from behind. I believe that is Stevens. And that'll be his first.
I just love the ball movement, though. The early offense attack by Mercer, but there were 6 or 7 quick passes to get the 3. You want to watch the game within the game. Keep your eye on 22 Black and watch all the things that they ask him to do in an offensive set.
Couple of point-blank opportunities shoved back in by Ayers. Lead back to 7. 1 on 3 for Lewis. And he sent that to his coach.
Nice job there defensively to stay tagged out on the shooters. Even when the ball goes inside, if I'm Greg Gary and Mercer, I'm staying tagged to the shooters. Let VMI score all they want, 2 at a time.
Ayers the spin, the dump off to Glisson, puts it in, lead back to 9.
This is the way VMI started the game. They just look a little dead-legged, if you will, to me.
And Lewis tried to get around Hasse. He was fouled in the process. That'll be the second on Felipe.
And you know Hasse is an international player because he actually raised his hand to say the foul was on me.
Camden Kerfman off the screen, the bounce to Lewis. Stevens wide open. Shot hasn't been there for the big fella tonight. Ayers the runner. And Mercer the aggressor, especially on the offensive glass. They had 3 offensive rebounds on 1 possession just a minute ago.
And that's a place where fatigue could show up in a hurry.
Danger zone for VMI. And the timeout's going to be called by Dan Earl. Well, the Mercer Bears, they've had some big wins, especially back in their days in the A-Sun. What about the greatest of all time?
Magenta. I hate cartridges. Not magenta, not magenta. I'm not going back to the store. Magenta! Cartridges are so...
The Epson Eco Tank. No more cartridges. It comes with an incredible amount of ink that can save you a lot of frustration. The Epson Eco Tank.
Just fill and chill. Available at...
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
And offer the best in entertainment like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. Only from Verizon.
Kay said it best. Mercer Bears were a bunch of grown men today, and we had no answer. Next year into the Southern Conference. Playing like grown men tonight as well, Mark. 44-33. This ties the largest lead of the evening for the Bears over VMI. And what do the Keydets need to do here?
Well, I hate to make it sound simple, but when you get good looks, you've got to make some shots. I mean, that's the bottom line. I'm okay with the shots that they're getting for the most part, but at some point in time, you've got to shoot with confidence.
Stevens was fouled, working against Hasse. Let's see what they call that one on. Well, the foul on Glisson. Free throws coming up for Big Jake Stevens.
Magenta. I hate cartridges. Not magenta, not magenta. I'm not going back to the store. Magenta! Cartridges are so
The Epson Eco Tank. No more cartridges. It comes with an incredible amount of ink that can save you a lot of frustration. The Epson Eco Tank.
Just fill and chill. Available at
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
And offer the best in entertainment like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. Only from Verizon.
Here we go.
And a slam. Big time.
Champ Week is here. ACC tourney starts Tuesday at 2 Eastern. Greensboro, North Carolina, the place to be. UNCG in the championship game of the SoCon title affair. That game tomorrow night on ESPN. Look at Joey Brackett's updated 1 and 2 seeds. Anything surprise you here, Mark?
Well, Michigan losing today to Michigan State, so that means the Spartans have most likely punched their ticket, and so they'll drop. Dosumu came back for Illinois, and they had a couple of huge wins. Iowa beats Wisconsin today. You know, Roy, one of maybe the few positive things that this COVID season gave us is afternoon basketball throughout the season. And that's one of the things I love most about Champ Week. There is afternoon basketball starting next Wednesday all over the map.
And almost every single day, Alvarez pulls another Houdini act. He's got 14, the lead at 12, the largest for Mercer tonight. And Stevens was fouled. That's going to be Hasse, and that'll be his third.
See, Hasse admits when he makes his second foul, but when he makes his third, he's not so quick to go, it's on me.
14 foul against the Bears. That would be one way to generate some much-needed offense for VMI in the second half to get into the bonus early. Brick tossed up there by Sean Conway.
You just don't get any sense that VMI has any offensive flow.
Hasse short, gets his own miss, puts it up and in. VMI now more than 3 minutes since its last bucket. And another foul called. Alvarez was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That'll be the 15th foul.
Watch Hasse follow his own shot. He knew immediately it was short. And he was the first to gather, and he gets a second chance point from his own miss.
Keydets fouls away from the bonus, in desperate need of some offense. Where's it going to come from? Totally out of sync to start the second. Five to shoot for Lewis.
Oh.
And that's a shot clock violation. I don't think he got that off in time.
Shot clock review.
But he gets a lot of kudos for just getting it to the rim. High degree of difficulty, late shot clock. You never want the shot clock to dictate your quality of shot. I don't think that's going to count.
Our veteran officiating crew will take another look just as we did. Chuck Jones, Todd Austin, Will Howard.
Well, he stuck the landing, but it was a shot clock violation nonetheless.
A 10-1 run by Mercer, creating some serious separation. Almost 14 minutes to play, but VMI really not showing many signs of life to start the second.
And Roy, you can go down the floor like VMI did, but when you've played all the minutes that they played last night, it's probably an effort in futility.
Cummings, no. Listen on the offensive glass. That caroms out of bounds. I believe it'll stay on this end. Well, VMI in a similar position yesterday, down 10 late against Furman before rallying for the overtime win. And when you know it, they trailed by 14 at one juncture mark.
And you could sense the momentum building. I haven't sensed that start tonight yet. But again, I'm going to come back to the same thing. When you are built to shoot a lot of threes, make a lot of threes, you can score points in bunches. You can make up a double-figure deficit. Remember last night, Stevens had a huge three down the stretch. Parham was just sensational.
Mid-range by Lewis. Lead at 12. Alvarez in attack mode. Missed the layup. Lewis the rebound.
Might be a momentum three opportunity.
Quick trigger and well short. VMI 2 of 17 from deep after that last miss by Parham. That's the guy VMI's had no answer for tonight. Tally Alvarez. Listen, contact, put back good. Leon Ayers.
Ayers just so active, but I like the spacing that Mercer had, that complete possession.
Lewis stripped. VMI just running out of juice here. Cummings. Stevens with a pass. Easiest basket of his career. Lead back to 12.
But again, if I'm Mercer, I'm willing to live with that. Guard the arc at all costs. How about the fact that Cummings now in in the last 2 games, is now 0 for 8 from the arc. Would not have thought that.
And Mercer still has found a way to win the first game. Lead to second. Alvarez spins it in. Well, the ball just finds his hands tonight. He's now up to 18.
He has got a great north-south mentality. Fearless.
Wild shot by Parham. And an offensive foul, the call.
Mercer foul on 0.
Second on Ayers.
Team 6. Time on the floor.
VMI basketball, when we come back, Keydets have a lot of work to do.
For attractive offers on the ultra-responsive Acura TLX, visit your Acura dealer today.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
And offer the best in entertainment like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. Only from Verizon.
All eyes on tomorrow night back here in Asheville. Winner of this game between VMI and Mercer. Challenge number 1 seed UNCG. 7 o'clock ESPN. Mark Wise, Roy Philpott will be on the call for that one. And the Spartans, now 5 straight seasons of 20-plus wins, including that tournament trip to the dance 3 years ago.
You know, Roy, it was interesting when we talked with Wes Miller, and he was talking about, he took over as the interim head coach. And in the next year, I think he admitted that he thought at one point in time he was going to be fired. So if you're a UNCG fan, thank goodness you had some patience, because your patience has been rewarded in a big-time way.
Kerfman well short. And a foul. Trying to track it down was Tanner Mans.
Mercer foul number 3, Jeff Gary.
I just see shot after shot be short. And that's usually a sign of fatigue. And we talked about all the minutes that the Keydets played last night.
Tanner Mans, 1-1.
Well, Mann's a pretty good free throw shooter at 82%. Just 2 points per game this season. He'll get one more. Dan Earl trying to press some kind of button to get his guys back in the flow. Minutes piling up going back to last night, Mark.
4 guys playing more than 42 minutes in that overtime thriller. So again, watch Hasse, 22 in black. All the movement that he gives you, because even when he's not involved, he draws Stevens away from the basket. And that's really VMI's only rim protector. And as a consequence, Alvarez gets to do what Alvarez does best, go north-south.
20 points tonight for number 2. The lead swells to 15. Largest advantage for the Bears halfway through our second half.
Not enough body movement.
Five to shoot for Parham. Lewis, big shot, top of the key. That counts as 3, 54-42.
And that time he's going, there, I beat the clock that time.
And Parham comes up with a steal. Good look, Lewis inside in a quick 5-0 burst, the lead down to 10.
Well, he's been the best player for VMI tonight, no question about it.
Plenty of time remaining, approaching 9 to go. Hasse, no. Lewis the rebound.
Is this the run?
Look at the ball movement. All of a sudden the passes a bit more crisp. Mann's off the mark. Stevens boxed out beautifully by Robertson. How about that move?
How about the defensive rotation by Mercer? Running shooters off the arc.
Cummings. Alvarez. Count it. How many big-time buckets has he made? 23 on the board, and that'll stop the VMI run dead in its tracks.
That's just a great IQ play by both players, really.
Lewis missed the layup on the baseline drive. Way too early to start talking about Alvarez's 3 being a dagger, but it certainly felt that way after VMI had scored back-to-back possessions. Four to shoot, Alvarez. Step back.
Oh,
nice move by Lewis, split the double team.
How quick and explosive was that jump step to the side? Looked like a running back after getting the handoff to avoid that first tackler.
Well, if he's a running back, he's over 100 yards tonight because he has 18 points. Coming short. Stevens the rebound. Here we go again. With Lewis inside and a chance for 3. 57-48 and a chance for one more at the line when we come back.
Miles Lewis goes, I'm going to beat the shot clock this time, and knocks down the 3 ball. On the other end, Ross Cummings understands the mismatch, the ball fake, attract defenders, the kick out to Alvarez is on point, and Alvarez knocks down his third 3-ball of the night.
This is the Epson EcoTank color printer. No more buying cartridges. Big ink tanks, lots of ink. Print about this many pages. The new Epson EcoTank. Just fill and chill.
For attractive offers on the ultra-responsive Acura TLX, visit your Acura dealer today.
9-point lead back in Nashville as you take a look, Mark, at the first team all SoCon performers this season.
You know, Roy, in some ways, like Storm Murphy down there at the bottom as a senior has had such a wonderful career, we would say it's awfully sad to see him go. But in this do-over season, I think it will be real interesting to see who comes back in the SoCon next year.
One free throw for Miles Lewis.
Zay Miller, the only player still alive. UNCG in the championship. Meanwhile, Miles Lewis has scored the last 9 points for the Keydets. Short on the free throw, but he'll get it back.
Wow. Would a 3 here work?
New life for VMI, especially with a score here. Stevens hasn't made one yet.
Way too much time in this game to think about milking possessions. Attack, keep your attack mode.
Paladins found that out the hard way last night. You and I were talking during the break. VMI, extra 3 minutes to work with compared to yesterday.
Plenty of time.
Glisson somehow got it back, puts it up and in.
Greg Gary told us that his most pleasant surprise this year has been Glisson, with his air of physicality that he plays with and brings to the table.
Perfman off the mark with the runner, then commits the foul, trying to get it back. Well, VMI just had an opportunity to slice a lead to 8. All of a sudden, it's back to 11, with Mercer having possession of the basketball.
And Roy, while we have a chance, how about the Mercer women? Coached by Susie Gardner, who won the SoCon this afternoon. So they'll be hearing their name called.
Yeah, selection Monday. Just a week out. Mercer Bears going dancing again. Great time of year if you're a basketball fan. Dance returns, conference tournaments, champ week. SoCon title game tomorrow night at 7 on ESPN. Winner of this one will get UNCG in that one. Hasse with the 3 fouls. Great position. Can't finish. How about the rebound by Glisson? 3-pointer on the way, and that may just about be too much for VMI to come back from. Ayers.
Again, it's Glisson making that effort play for the second shot opportunity. The 3-point shot after an offensive rebound is almost always a killer.
Lewis has 22. Number 5 to go.
Boy, has he been good. But is that part of the equation, I wonder, in the scouting report? We're willing for Lewis and Stevens to score inside. We're not going to allow you to make threes. The Keydets, just 3 of 21 from bonus land.
First basket, first points of the night for Jeff Gary. Parham, the finger roll.
Yeah, Gary was sensational in that Wofford game. Made 4 threes, some of those early. Helped Mercer to that big halftime lead.
And Alvarez stepped out of bounds. Go back to the Keydets. Alvarez a point away from matching his career high. You start to look ahead and think about a potential championship game tomorrow night. Mercer can hold on Leading the Spartans of UNCG, and it'll be a lot of fun. Parham baseline. Tapped out, it'll stay on this end with 11 to shoot. That's after this media timeout. Bears in position. They lead it by a dozen in Asheville.
The Southern Conference is proud to have Coca-Cola as the official soft drink provider for the Southern Conference. The Coca-Cola Company is dedicated to refreshing the world and making a difference in its local communities. Geico is a proud supporter of the Southern Conference and the 2021 SoCon Basketball Championships. Fans, remember that 15 minutes or less can save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Geico, so easy a caveman can do it.
Well, back in Asheville, North Carolina, ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by SoFi. Get your money right. Inside Harrah's Cherokee Center. Right here downtown, Mark Wise, Roy Philpott. Just under 4 minutes to go in our second semifinal. The lead is 12 for the number 7 seed Mercer Bears. And Tally Alvarez, one away from his career high of 24 tonight, Mark.
Yeah, and he's scored in a variety of ways. He's had that north-south mentality as a driver. He has also stepped out and knocked down 3 balls, 3 of 7 from bonus land, and just has been outstanding and efficient as a scorer.
Now or never for VMI. UNCG awaits the winner. Stevens just 9 points tonight after 25 yesterday.
Again, Roy, short. That's been the common theme for their misses.
Never poked that one away. 3.5 to go.
I'm still being aggressive.
Yep. Listen with position. Hasse fires a shot and connects just inside the three-point arc.
Again, I understand he is the 4th leading scorer for Mercer, but offensively, I think he's the most important guy because of all the ways they utilize him.
Now the Mercer Bears never reached the Southern Conference Championship game. It appears as if that's on the verge of changing. They made the transition from the A-Sun. VMI led in this one only on one occasion. It was 2-0. And a foul inside. Glisson was hit pretty hard. Miles Lewis picked up the personal. Well, Dan Earl's done a remarkable job. Winning record this year, made it to the semis, the SoCon Championship, SoCon Coach of the Year, recognized by his peers for the outstanding work in Lexington, Virginia. Alvarez wants that career high. Instead, he'll dish it off to Gary. 69-52, and the Mercer Bears are on their way.
That is Gary's 6th 3-ball that he's made in this tournament.
Now Kerfman pours in a shot from downtown, and VMI just their 4-3 ball of the night. 2:08 remaining, and the Keydets will utilize a timeout. And don't forget, Champ Week continues on the ESPN networks tomorrow night, 9 and midnight Eastern. Zags of Gonzaga against St. Mary's. That's over on ESPN. Pepperdine and BYU at midnight on ESPN2. Both tomorrow. Also streaming live on the app. For the guys on College Game Day, talk a little bit about how they think Michigan may be positioned better than Gonzaga. Of course, that was a week ago, but what were you saying?
Well, what I started to say is we know Gonzaga and BYU are in. No question. I mean, Gonzaga obviously, but BYU's comfortably in. Boy, wouldn't it be something if the WCC had an upset winner?
That could certainly steal a bit from somebody. The West Coast Conference with 2 in, just as Mark alluded to, BYU and the Zags. Big Ten, what a year it's been. You watched that Illinois-Ohio State game yesterday. You got big-time talent on both sides. Either one of those teams can win a national championship.
And one of the things to measure a team's success is that quadrant one that we talk about. Why does the Big Ten have so many quadrant one opportunities? Because they have so many teams in the top 30 in the net. So anytime you play one of those teams at home, you have a quadrant one opportunity.
In and out for Lewis. Well, if you look ahead to tomorrow night, UNCG did win both meetings with Mercer this season. It's a 3-point game back on February 13th. And 2 weeks before that, Spartans won at 81-68. So the more recent meeting was more competitive, and certainly Mercer feels like a different team right now compared to what it was, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks ago, Mark.
And in those 2 games you referenced, those 2 games, Isaiah Miller was simply human. He had 22 in one game, 15 in the other. The difference in those 2 games between Green's UNCG and Mercer, points off turnovers. In the 2 games that these teams played, UNCG was plus 21 in that category. Mercer will have to take care of the basketball.
Isaiah Miller, SoCon Player of the Year 2 times over. His corner 3 at the buzzer right before halftime in Game 1 earlier today, our first semifinal. He was dynamite, Coach.
I don't know how many baskets he made, but it seemed like he had about 20 dunks in the game. Whether in transition, off the lob. Hey, Sports Center Top 10, are you watching? Isaiah Miller with the one-handed catch. He caught that ball so far behind the backboard.
And the numbers don't do justice for what Miller brings to the table, at least there. The momentum-generating dunks, the run-stopping steals, and Isaiah Miller, sensational.
Well, he impacts the game offensively because Miller averages around 19 points a game. But that's the weaker part of his game, because defensively he is so disruptive. Maybe as good a lockdown defender on the perimeter as there is in the country.
Out of the timeout, full court trapping pressure. Cummings escapes and has his man for the easy bucket, Felipe Hasse.
1 minute remaining.
Roy, there's no doubt in my mind that VMI was a little dead-legged from the get-go tonight. But what a season they've had.
Yeah, no reason to hang your head after the win last night against Furman in overtime, 91-90. People are going to be talking about that comeback for many, many years. And just ran out of gas against an explosive Mercer team that seems to be finding its stride at the right time and on the verge of winning its 18th game of the year.
And how about this, Roy, that Mercer beat Wofford last night. They're beating VMI tonight, and their leading scorer has really struggled. And I think if you're going to beat UNCG, you need to be hitting on all cylinders. So Ross Cummings is going to have to play a bigger role tomorrow night in the championship game.
Ross Cummings this evening, really 2 points on 1 of 11 from the floor. Mercer still finding ways to win. We'll see if perhaps there's some growth that occurs with this program, with what they've been able to accomplish so far in Asheville. Bears going to win this one going away and almost wire to wire. Just 2.6 seconds remaining. Bears head back to the hotel, rest up, and get ready for Isaiah Miller and the #1 seed Spartans tomorrow night. 7 o'clock tip over on ESPN.
And Mercer won this game against VMI the same way they won the first game against the Keydets, at the three-point line. They were the better three-point shooting team. And as a consequence, Mr. Alvarez and company are going to the championship game.
The title game is set. 73-59 our final score in our second semifinal. #1 seed UNC